Hey guys, it's Brittany here with Frayed Knot Fibers, and I just wanted to stop by and show you a little something I learned today about the waistcoat stitch, which is also known as the knit stitch. So in crochet, this is similar in essence to a single crochet. However, the difference comes in the placement of the stitch. So ignore my unmanicured thumb and let's move on. All right, so with the first stitch, what I've done here is I have made a magic ring, magic loop, magic circle, whatever you want to call it. I have my Ice Yarns jumbo yarn and my Susan Bates 16mm Q Luxite hook. Now, I have placed 6 single crochets, and normally, of course, when you're placing a single crochet, you would want to go under the loops to place your first stitch. Rather, for the waistcoat stitch, what we are going to be doing is placing a stitch just like the single crochet, but we're going to do it somewhere different. So in between these little V stitches is where you're going to place your stitch. Now, if you're looking at your stitch anatomy and you kind of open this up, you can see right in between that V stitch, there are 2 little loops right there. We're going to go in between there. Okay, and then we're going to come out in between these 2 stitches here. All right, so we're not going in between this stitch, because essentially if we stuck our hook in between here, we would just be going in the same place as our single crochet. And since we're doing the waistcoat stitch, we're going to go right here for our first, let me find it, for our first stitch. All right, so you just want a pointy hook works best for this. So again, we're gonna go right in between those stitches, and you wanna just kind of flip it over to the back to make sure that you pick both of these loops up. Well, you're going in between, under these 2 and in between these 2 here. So that's where you'll wanna come out. So you're just gonna go through, yarn over, pull up a loop. It can be very challenging if you crochet tightly, so you might want to practice looser stitches until you get this down. And then just like a single crochet, we'll yarn over and we'll pull through 2. So the next stitch would be in between here, as you can see the 2 stitches that will go between. So we'll go in between here and come out in between those 2 stitches. That's exactly where we want to go. So we'll yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, and pull through 2. So our next stitch, again, would not be in here where we would normally go. It would be in between these 2 loops. So it took me a little bit to figure this out, but now that I have it down, it's pretty easy. It's just a matter of getting the tension down. There's 3, so I would have 3 more to place, which I'll go ahead and do really quickly. And then once you have that down, you're good to go. And pulling that out can be a little bit challenging as well. I suggest sliding down onto the fattest part of your hook and then pulling through. All right, so the next one again is not going to be in between here, it's going to be in between here. This is our 5th stitch. I'm going to weasel that out of there, yarn over, pull through 2, and for our last one, not there, it's going to be right here in this stitch, as you can see, in between those little loops there. So in between the V and then in between, and then in between those 2 stitches. So again, this can be tricky, especially if you crochet tightly. Yarn over, pull through. So there we have it now. There are 6, which normally in the second round I would want to place 2 in each, but for the sake of showing you this, I just wanted to place 1 in each so that you could kind of get the placement. And what's cool about it, which you can't so much see here, but it gives the appearance of a knit stitch or little hearts because they're V's stacked one upon another once you crochet in rows. Or let me show you. It gives the vibes of like, of course, a knit look, but also like little hearts or V's stacked upon one another. Before you go, feel free to check out my Instagram page at Frayed Knot Fibers. The spelling is on the screen. I will see you next time. Bye. Looks like a toboggan with a hole.